there's not a lot of dirt coming off that now after we put the vacuum cleaner on it. And like I said, that not many people I know use the vacuum cleaner, but as you can see, it does work. G'day all, welcome back to another Ash applications video. In this video what we'll cover is just some techniques that we can use to keep our slouch hat cleaned. So you may be coming up to an occasion where you need your slouch hat cleaned. It may have been sitting in storage or in a press and carrier for a while, and you just want to make sure that it's looking good. So we'll go on with a few techniques that we can use to keep them clean. Rightio, so a few of the basic items that we can use to clean our slouch hat. We've got our soft bristle or horsehair brush here. We've got a hard bristle brush here as well. We can use some cleaners to aid if there are stains and they are particularly stubborn. Here we've got Ultra X dark hat cleaner. We've also got a felt hat cleaner here. Sponge, a nice coarse sponge. And then finally a vacuum cleaner, and this is one that I use primarily in the garage for cleaning the interior of the cars out, and it's something that I haven't seen people mention before, but you definitely can put that to use, and we'll show you how to do that. And also for, once again, particularly stubborn stains and build up of grime, we can use 240 grit sandpaper. We'll go through on how to do that. Finally, after we've finished cleaning the hat, I always like to protect it, and I use a variety of water protectors there. The most common one I use is the Water Shield, because that's a spray on. It's easy to get. There are also purpose design or purpose products that you can buy that are for felt hats, and this one is a rain and stain protector. Okay. Right, so let's go on and see how we can put these to use. Rightio, so the first technique that I'll step through is just the use of the brushes. Now I use this primarily for most of my hats because they don't have a lot of stains on them, which is good. So soft brush, or the horsehair brush. Whenever you're using a brush, or for that matter any sponge or sandpaper, you always try and go anti-clockwise, and then it lays the actual weave of the fur felt down. You'll notice that when you do that, and you can see just by doing that with the soft brush, it's taken a lot of the dust off the surface. Okay, if we come back around, we'll use a stiff brush on this side. It's the same technique, except it actually, you can see how it really gets in there and takes all the deep dust and fur felt that's sitting on the top there. You can see the difference that makes. Okay, and we'll just go over it again with the soft brush. Okay, whereas this hat looked pretty clean before we started, you can see just by using the brush on it, it gets a lot of that build up of dust and loose fur felt off. Okay, same with the top. You can see that coming off already. Rightio, so that's the use of the brush on my very first slouch hats, and it's very old. So once again, quick demonstration of the brush. So the soft bristle, you can see that cleans it up straight away. Hard bristle really gets in there. But what we're actually going to clean on this hat is, I'll just show you the underside of it. So you can see in here we've got a build up of grime here. Okay, so build up of dirt. And that manifests when you're picking your slouch hat up on the crown here. So you'll see that on the hat that you frequently take on and off your hat, on and off your head, like your grade 2 for example, you're going to get a build up of grime and everything that you touch on here. But that's a good or a good illustration of what the grime actually looks like. So we'll go through some techniques on how to get rid of this. Alright, so if you're using your brush, and once again you're going anti-clockwise, you see that it's really not going to do much to it. Okay. So the other methods that we can use on there, we can use our spray, but before we get onto the spray, because that's a product that's not easily available and to come by. So what we'll do is we'll just use 240 grit sandpaper, and you just go into the direction of the anti-clockwise, and you can see straight away that is gone. Okay, stiff brush, soft brush. Okay, we'll try it again on this little bit here. Okay, so the Akubras are very hardy hats. The fur felt, the rabbit fur felt, is very tough. Alright, so if you're just doing gentle, one direction with a 240 grit, don't go resist the temptation to go with a more coarse grit. This 240 is really what you need. Okay, so that's brought that up really well. Now we'll try, so we know that the sandpaper works, so what we'll try on this part here is our Dark X or Ultra X. We'll just spray that on. Do that bit there. Okay, we'll use our coarse sponge. So just going in the one direction, and I'll show you why we only go in one direction when we're using our cleaning products. Alright, so that's coming off. Just another application of that, and then to get to see the final results, you'll have to wait till it actually dries. To see how well that works. But like I said, you don't have to go and buy that product. Like I said, it's really hard to get here in Australia. So just if you do have that build up of grime, especially where your hands touching your hat all the time, just use that 240 grit if it doesn't come off fine using your brush. Alright, so that's that bit there. Alright, and once again we'll just use our sandpaper on this bit here, so you can see the difference. And we'll leave that on there. So we got our before and afters. Alright, so brush, it's our soft brush. Alright, so there we go. Alright, that's the use of our brushes and our spray. Okay, and then finally move on to our other item. Rightio, so just back to the slouch hat that we used the Ultra X Dark on there. And so you can see the area, it's starting to dry up clearly now, so you can see how the combination of the spray and the sponge did work, and you're going to have to reapply it and keep using the sponge to go over it to get it to a point where it's actually fully removed. You can see the bit where we use the sandpaper here. Alright, so they do work, you just have to keep reapplying it and gently get it down to a place where it should be. Then finally place over your water shield, and that'll take some of that light colouring away. Now we'll just use our vacuum cleaner. So we haven't used the brush on this, so what I'm just going to do is just use the vacuum cleaner on it. We'll see how that works. Ideally I'd like to use the brush and then use the vacuum cleaner on it. Now this is the hat that you would not believe what this hat looked like originally. This is the hat that Benno had kept in a shoebox or something. just refer to my videos on that. And yeah, like I said, you wouldn't believe what it looked like to what it is now. But this is a very old hat, and it was kept, you know, in some really strange areas, and it looked nothing like what it does now. And we used coarse sandpaper on here to get rid of a lot of the stains. And you can see that because we used the coarse sandpaper, it did leave some blemishes in there. Right, so let's see how the vacuum cleaner works on this. Okay, so it worked really well. There's not a lot of dirt coming off that now after we put the vacuum cleaner on it. And like I said, that not many people I know use the vacuum cleaner, but as you can see, it does work. Another good thing about the vacuum cleaner, it gets right into the crown. So that's, you'll always see a build up of dust on the crown, especially with your slouch hat. If you have a pinch crown like this one, it's quite easy to get into with using your vacuum cleaner there. Right, so that's that done. Protector on there. And like I said, I like to use the water shield. This one's okay, and you just use the damp sponge to place it on there. Just see my other videos about that one, and it's also got a insect repellent in it as well. Let's use this one. I'll just quickly demonstrate it onto the crown. You can use it on all parts of the hat. It darkens slightly, but then it dries and you don't even know what's on there. Right, yeah, so there you go. So just use those techniques to clean your hat, especially if it's been in storage for a little bit and it's got some dust on it. It brings it up beautifully. And I'll just go on with one more bonus feature because I did have a request about something else to do with the slouch hat, so I'll go on with that next. That's our bonus footage. Righto, so part of the bonus footage, like I said, one of the viewers asked me to explain how to fix onto the hat clip. So the hat clip here sometimes can come loose because it's only held on there by bits of yarn or cotton. Okay, so it can come loose. You know, I've had some do that in the past. Now on the issue sewing kit, this is the one that you get if you're actually within the services, and it's got everything you need in there. So we're using the contents of that. So that heavy yarn, that was good for patching up your Howard greens, and thank goodness we don't have them anymore. But we use the probably this colour here. Okay, so that cotton there sort of matches that. All right, so you thread that through your needle just really quickly. Thread that through your needle, and probably use 4 or 5 times the amount that you need, because you need to tie it off on the inside. So thread it through the needle, and you can see that in. So essentially from the inside you have to come through, and these loops in there, you can see that the yarn's facing down like that. So you come up and over and in, and do that once on probably 3 or 4 times on that side. Go across to the other side and do it on the other side as well. So let me see if I can zoom in on that for you. It's quite hard to see. So essentially we want to start on the inside here, push the needle through with the cotton, and then loop it through, and then you need to tie off on the inside. Okay, so that's essentially how you do that. It's a little bit finicky. If you have troubles, if you're struggling with that, probably best see a hatter. So there are hatters in most of your capital cities or major regional areas, and they should be able to do that for you. They can also do the brim here on you can see on some of the older slouch hats that brim band starts to wear out, which is only normal and natural to do that. Rightio, so I hope that helps you in your endeavours and your applications. Once again, thanks very much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video.